What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you all so much for joining me for this being my review for Married to Medicine Season 12, Episode 12. This entire episode was a dinner party. But I understand why. I do understand why. So everyone's getting ready for this dinner that everyone's going to attend. And Toya is going to be running this dinner, playing some games. They have red flag and green flags, asking random questions. So they always do this on these couples trips. And the questions are typically sexually based, which, again, like sometimes I don't understand, but I guess, the viewers would want to hear this type of stuff. But me personally, I'm just not interested in hearing these types of things coming from these people. But it is what it is. They have every right to have these discussions on the show. It's their show, so it is what it is. And I'm not ageist or whatever the case might be. It's just I just have no interest in hearing all that. But anyways, so last episode, Dr. Heavenly had this conversation with Toya at the event they were doing for the kids. Saying that she doesn't want any smoke with Toya. She doesn't want them to not get along. She wants them to be okay. She wants them to be on good terms. And of course, Toya said in her confessional after that happened that, she's not believing Dr. Heavenly whatsoever. And I get it. I understand. Dr. Heavenly has a tendency to apologize and then go right back to her old ways on the next day or on the next scene or whatever the case might be. So I get why Toya said what she said, because Dr. Heavenly came right for Toya. So after they play, during the time that they're playing their games, there's a question asked concerning someone's boundaries. And Toya brings up the fact that she kind of came for Angel and her significant other. I don't know if he's officially her significant other, but the man that she brought to Dr. Heavenly's family reunion event. And Angel is like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I don't need any help to get any man. What you did was against girl code. What you did was, sort of kind of disrespectful towards me. And Toya's like, well, I can understand you having that point of view when you were like 20 or 30, but girl, we are grown women. And, who cares about who you're sleeping with and who it's just. And I'm so glad that everyone agreed that Toya was wrong for doing what she did to Angel. So, no matter what Toya's reasoning for doing what she did was, it was still unacceptable to everyone. And I'm so glad that that was the case. But anyways, so it's interesting that, they were talking about love languages, right? And it seemed as though Dr. Simone and Cecil did not understand each other's love language, which I can sort of kind of understand how they may not know. Sort of, kind of. I've never been in a relationship before, so I don't know exactly how that would work. But with the fact that a lot of the women on the cast were in their confessionals saying, y'all been married for over 20 years and y'all still don't know each other's love languages, like that seems to be an issue. And I can understand why they would bring up that point. But, apparently they weren't the only ones who didn't know each other's love languages, because Quad and King, everyone is starting to see them drift apart a little bit. And it's very interesting to kind of see this in real time. Now that we know that they're no longer together, it kind of adds validity to the fact that we're starting to see them sort of kind of drift apart during this 12th season. And so it's very interesting. And it's also interesting to see them try to keep up this appearance that they are together and that they are on good terms. But, it is what it is. So after they play their little games or whatever, Dr. Jackie tells the ladies that they need to have a meeting amongst the girls concerning this Met Gala event that they're throwing. And when Toya starts to try to, lead the conversation, Dr. Heavenly she basically interrupts Toya, because Dr. Heavenly has no faith that Toya is going to be able to run this event the right way. Brandy raises her hand and says, I'm new to the cast and no one's asked me for my opinion on what we should be doing for the Met Gala. So why would I be paying my money for something that I had no interest in? I've not been included in any of these plans. So, what's going on? And Dr. Mebe is feeling the same way. I think Angel kind of speaks up on the topic as well, and Dr. Heavenly is going in on Toya, and in my opinion, a little bit unnecessarily. But Dr. Heavenly's always got smoke for Toya. They've never really liked each other. I remember in the season 2 reunion, Dr. Heavenly said, Toya's not the brightest girl in the bunch, which I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that or not, but I can understand how she would come to that assumption about Toya. But I do feel that Toya has gotten better as the seasons have gone on. I've started to actually like Toya in the last couple of seasons a little bit. I really haven't appreciated Toya this season necessarily. I feel like she's going a little bit too hard. I don't know why she feels the way to do. She feels that she should be doing this, but it's just concerning to me because I want Toya to be better and I want Toya to be my favorite. I really want to root for Toya. So while Dr. Heavenly's going in on Toya, Dr. Eugene sort of kind of steps in and says, you know what, Toya, we're going back to our room. Remember they made that rule at the beginning of the trip that if they feel like anything is getting out of hand, they have the right to tell a couple to go back to their room and kind of decompress and things of that nature. And so Dr. Eugene is trying to get Toya to, leave, and Dr. Eugene is getting really, really upset. And I was speaking about this on Prophetic Fire Reiki show last night. I find it interesting that Dr. Eugene always wants to hold Dr. Heavenly accountable. However, he never holds Toya accountable for her behavior. Like, Toya consistently disrespects Eugene. She does it on a regular basis. And the girls have been trying to tell Toya to treat her husband better on camera. And it's so interesting to me that Dr. Eugene rarely holds Toya accountable for her mouth and her actions and her words. And he's always, insisting that Dr. Heavenly do better. When it's like your own wife, like, Dr. Heavenly is not coming at Toya for no reason. Like, they clearly have bad blood since Dr. Heavenly got onto the show. And Toya is not innocent. Toya, has been shady. Toya has been talking about, different things, all season long. Toya is the one that brought up the fact that Dr. Heavenly's son got arrested and she wanted to bring it to the group for discussion. Toya is not innocent. And Dr. Eugene is acting as if Toya is completely innocent, and she's not. And it's just a little bit annoying to me. Now, I don't know if Dr. Eugene is not affected by the disrespect from Toya. I don't know if he cares about the disrespect he receives from Toya. But I'm so glad that the ladies sort of kind of hold Toya accountable as well as Dr. Heavenly accountable. I do enjoy that. So the needless to say, the meeting is adjourned. There's nothing accomplished during this meeting about the Met Gala. I'm not sure at this point if it's actually going to take place. I'm assuming that it will, since it's a TV show and they're probably going to try to pull things together to make it happen. But it's not looking good at all. And I get why the women are doing this to Toya, because for the last 2 or 3 seasons that they've had a Met Gala, Toya has not participated the same way that everyone else has participated. Yes, she was, supplying wine for the Met Gala. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, but that's the most that she's contributed to these Met Gala events, and so it is what it is. So, anyways, we get to the next day. Dr. Mimi's husband, no, not Dr. Mimi's husband, Brandy's husband, shows up. He's only going to be there for a couple of hours because they've got to get back home to their babies. Their baby's first day of school is the next day, so they got to make sure that they're there. They have, I believe, 4 young children, and so the women with the younger children typically have a whole lot more to do. Because the other ladies have older children, so all of their kids are out of the house. So it is what it is. But also, Angel's significant other, I think his name is Bernard, if I'm not mistaken, he shows up. And when he gets there, he tells Angel he didn't know that this was a couples trip, which I find pretty hard to believe when they showed a clip of them FaceTiming and her telling him about the trip. I don't know if the words couples trip actually came out of her mouth, but it was really weird to me that he got a flight to Jamaica and he doesn't know that this is a couples trip. And he tells Angel, "You're the only one here without a significant other. Like, what's going on?" And his energy was really weird towards Angel. So I don't know if this was them trying to give themselves a moment on the show, but I'm really feeling nervous for Bernard. When he gets to the sprinter, while the ladies are going on their water rafting excursion, and then the men are going to get massages. Bernard gets up to the sprinter. Is like, you got room for one more, and the guys are like, "Who are you?" And I guess I can kind of understand that. I mean, he was at the family reunion event, so maybe they don't I'm assuming that they don't remember who he is, or maybe he didn't introduce himself while he was at the event. I don't know, but the guys are acting like they don't know him. And, then Dr. Eugene tells Dr. Damon that he wants to have a conversation with him. And Dr. Damon can see the writings on the wall. He knows exactly where this is coming from. And Dr. Damon is like, "I don't want to get into the girls' mess. Like, we don't have to do this." And Dr. Eugene is like, "No, no, 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 no. It's only good vibes, good energy. Only, this is only going to be a good thing." And so I'm hoping that when this conversation takes place, typically Dr. Damon doesn't put the blame on the other women when it comes to defending Dr. Heavenly, but I wish that he would do that and, pretty much put into the other guy's face, like, Dr. Heavenly is not the only person who's got a mouth on her. Every single one of these women, even Dr. Jackie, has a tendency to go off at the mouth, even though Dr. Jackie doesn't do it nearly as often as the other women do, but she still has that tendency at times. And so, anyways, the ladies are going water rafting. The women are not excited about the fact that the water in the river seems to be a little bit muddy, seems to be a little bit clouded, seems to be not clear. But it is what it is. I guess I can understand because it seems like they're going to get wet. So I can understand why they would have that reaction. So on the next episode, we'll finally get to this conversation that I have been dying to hear these men and these women discuss, is the fact that King and Quad are using IVF to have a baby and completely skipping the whole marriage part. Now, here's my thing. Not everyone is obligated to get married before they start having children. However, especially in the Black community and the Black church community, it's sort of kind of looked down upon for people to have babies before they get married. Now, of course, it happens all the time. But I guess this is a good topic to discuss on television. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this conversation is going to go. But my final thoughts is that Toya is not innocent. Toya is going to get the smoke from Dr. Heavenly regardless of whether Dr. Heavenly has apologized to her in the past, whether Dr. Heavenly has told her, "I won't do it again." No, Dr. Heavenly is going to do it again. But Toya's got a mouth on her, and she's been reckless this season. And in my opinion, everything that she's gotten from these women has been deserved. It is not unsolicited whatsoever. But tell me you guys what you think down in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, press the thumbs up button, also leave a comment, press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Make sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. Join me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my sister Prophetic Fire Reiki, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We always have a great time talking about the latest and goings on in the world. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.